How do I flip the screen? Rotate device. Okay, here we go. I think this is working. Whatever. Vertical video.
Vertical video. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do some coffee.
Yes.
Okay, so this is half Kenyan, half like El Salvador beans that I roasted at home. So it should be pretty sweet. And then we will grind it with your mouth. And oh, I didn't spray it.
It's okay.
It'll be a hot mess. Let's do it.
All right.
So we're gonna do a little staccato shot.
So for anyone tuning in, we are doing a live staccato shot with. There's 4 people. Hello. I can't see your messages. We're doing a staccato with Robert.
Hey. This is a little slow.
It is a slow grinder.
I'm not used to it. That's okay. Nope, still thinking. Almost. Used to the niche.
I think it's fine.
There we go. Okay, what do we got here? 22 made it out. Okay, great. So.
Okay, so do you want to walk through or just tell people what you're doing and what this, or maybe tell people what this is?
So the staccato shot is where you sift the coffee and then you layer it. So usually I sift it with the crew sifter, but I've been switching to using the fellow shimmy for the bottom layer. But you sift it using a 300 or 400 micron screen. So particles, you only get the smallest particles in the fine layer. Put that at the bottom of the puck. And then above that, you separate between like 400 microns and 500 microns. So then you end up with 2 more layers. And you put the coarse layer next, and then you put the mid layer, the leftover layer on top. And so that's the staccato shot style. And then that ends up allowing water to flow through more evenly. And then it has a fun effect of, it extracts from the fines. It has a higher extraction from the fines than the coarse, but you don't have like the effects of over extracting part of the puck, because usually from the coffee at the top of the puck will be extracted higher than the bottom of the puck. And then it also allows the water to flow through more evenly because each layer is sifted and they're similar particle sizes. Mm-hmm. So usually like the fine layer, when the coffee hits it, it stops really fast because it's so fine. However, once it starts extracting, it extracts more evenly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, how do I flip the screen? Flip the screen.
There we go.
There we go. And so far from what I've tried, we've pulled a bunch of shots so far. We pulled actually this like Verve Gesha normal. It was really good normal, and then we did do a staccato version of it. And the staccato is actually really good. It's really good. God damn.
I know it's really
good.
I just, if I could just ruin coffee for you.
Yeah, so what's really interesting and here's like our shot profile here is, there's a lot of wacky stuff going on here,
right.
But from a taste perspective, it's like you take every single, it's like you bring in intensity into everything, but you don't sacrifice. So we pulled this on the Flat Max with the Shuriken LM burrs, and you don't sacrifice any of the good properties of that burr set, but then you suddenly bring in a lot of intensity, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's a completely different style of shot that's really good. It's not so this is one of these things where it's like, if you do something like a turbo shot, you do some other styles of shots, you kind of compromise in certain places. I would say sometimes you compromise in certain places. This one is like everything that at least we've tasted so far, doing this adds onto. We're bringing in good properties, I would say.
I would hope. I think the only mistake you could have is pulling too long of a shot. Like if you actually did a 2-to-1 ratio, you're going to probably over extract a bit. But which is why I do like a 1-to-1 or a little bit more than 1-to-1. and then you end up with like you end up in that 18 to 22% extraction yield.
Mhm.
I've had a couple that have been ridiculous. That have been like, I'll get like 22% extraction yield, and it's like 20%
Mhm.
TDS, and really just intense on another level. So but it's you're doing a little bit more prep work, so you should get a bonus for it. So what I'm doing is I'm weighing out the bottom. So this is at 32. So if you subtract 25, that's how much coffee is actually in there. And so that'll allow us to know when to stop. Because as the only mistake you can make in this is if you don't fully sift the coffee, you could be it won't pull the same way.
Mhm.
And the problem is they stick together,
Uh-huh.
and they stick to the larger particles. So you could make that mistake easily and then disregard the shot and be like, this is garbage. But,
Mhm. Have you pulled any staccatos where you spend the time to do all of this and you're like, it didn't taste good?
Usually it's because like my grind setting is off.
Mhm.
So like I pulled one, I think this morning, where I was at like a grind setting like 6 on the niche, and I went to 0, and I don't know if I did sift enough or what, but like I ended up with like 12% extraction yield. And it was like a really short shot, a really slow flow, so this is 33 and a 0.4, so we still got another like gram or so to go. So really, I think one of the challenges with using a puck screen, so I've been using the puck screen. This is the one that comes from Flare, but I haven't tried the B+ one.
Mhm.
But the puck screen, if the flow is too low, it'll end up going to the sides before coming out. So you need the flow to be high enough to have a good shot. So like I know like there's some sweet spots to it.
Mhm.
So like the right amount of pressure is somewhere between 3 and 5 bars, with like a flow rate that's between 0.5 milliliters per second and 1 milliliter per second.
Mhm.
So really, that's usually with my shots, my grinds, I'm trying to get to these right parameters of like when does coffee start coming out, how do those things look, and go from there. So like one of the issues is that you may have noticed there wasn't much crema on like the shot we had.
Yeah.
And that's because you're pulling out like you have to get to like 4 or 5 bars to really start getting crema.
Yeah. But we're getting a crazy amount of texture in the shot anyway. So like I think a lot of people like crema because it's texture, but like this one is really good. Okay, somebody asked a question.
Yes.
Okay, we're live streaming, so people are asking questions. He says, "Why boulders in the middle rather than on the top?"
I don't know. I wish I had a good answer. Okay, so I tried it all different ways when I first was developing it. And the only explanation I have is that as water is coming through the middle layer, there could be some channeling. And then when you hit the boulders, because it can't channel. Like the boulders, the water just spreads out, and it fixes any flow problems from the top layer. That's my theory, because I've done the boulders on top, or like with the shimmy, I've just done 2 layers where it's just the bottom, the fine layer, and just the coarse layer, and it does not pull as well as if you do 3 layers. So I wish I had a more engineering or data-driven answer to that. Let's see what we're at here. We're slowing down, so we're going to try to get to. Because at home this one usually I get to about 10 grams on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've been on a niche, not a flat. So it'll be fun for me to see like what's the difference in taste, because it's the same. I'm using the same profile.
Yeah, we're also using coffee that he roasted.
Yes.
Yeah. So you should know. He knows this coffee really well, but and I was trying this on this Verve coffee, which I think I know decently, and it was really good.
And it's funny because that is just a great coffee on its own. So okay, so I think we're ready. We're ready to at least do the next round.
Okay, so do you want to tell people what you're doing now?
So now, I have the fines down here, so which is great.
So these are the this is a 200 300 micron filter.
So okay, so the shimmy is supposed to be 200 microns, but because of the shape of the filter holes, it's actually more like 300. So, and then what I'm doing is I'm putting it in a Groove sifter, and this is a 500 micron screen. So I'm splitting out like that bottom little bit. So then this, again, I wish I had an explanation. If 2-layer espresso worked just fine, I would just stick with 2 layers. I'm not trying to be overly complicated, but this works out a little bit better. Also, if you have a sifter, I advise you to hit your sifter a little bit. It's a little bit better for it, you know. Okay, that'll take another second. Let's see. So then we have the mid level. So this is less than 400 but greater than 300. So I mean that really goes to how these like coffee grinds in like a bimodal way. You have so much coffee, so many large particles. All right, so let's make a shot. All right, so we're gonna just do the fines. We're gonna start with the fine layer. All right, don't worry, we won't waste any. We'll use this is, okay, so 9.6, so that's a good sign. Choose you what I'm at, 9.66. Okay, so I typically will do like a little WDT, and then I have this guy here.
Oh yeah, custom made.
Custom made, high tech. It's just a flat edge, but actually,
it does a really good job.
It does a good job, because it has these little ears that kind of keeps the distributor in the basket. So, all right. So then I tamp. Now I took the spring out of here, so this just flops around, and then I measure the tamp to about 300 grams. Now, because if you do tartar, you can get it to donut too easily. All right. So then let's do.
So this is the fine and the finest, and then now we're doing the coarse.
The coarse.
And then after the course, we do the mid.
Mid. I know. I need a better name, but that's just what stuck. So, okay. So, see how this goes. Okay. So that's 17. So that's about 8 grams. Oh, and then this is when this is very advantageous. So it goes straight to the edges, and you're not really going to mess it up. It's so coarse. So then I just tap this just to flatten it. And then let's do
now the mid.
And then I don't want to waste anything. Or actually, also it's nice doing this because then it's clean for the next shot.
And this should only be like 4
or 5 grams. There you go. Perfect. That's the only problem with sifting is I lost 0.2 grams between grinding and sifting.
And this basket is
This is a VST 20-gram basket, ridgeless. I don't know if that matters to you. Ridgeless, I did some tests, ridge versus ridgeless, there's no difference. Okay, so then, oops, I do this.
Steve Reinhardt from Akaya said, tapping on the scale spiked my blood pressure a little. Hey, there's no spring in this.
There's no spring, it's okay.
There's a spring in this one. This one would be against the rules, but
yes.
Yes.
All right. So we're good to go.
Okay.
Let's.
So I gotta turn the scale on.
Turn the scale on. Grab the. I do basket prep outside of the portafilter because it's easier that way. And then let's.
Oh yeah, we gotta make sure the scale is hooked up.
The scale hook up.
Yep.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Let's get
Here we go.
round shot going. So we're going to stop it at around like 24, 25 grams. We should be close to like 20, 22% extraction. Oh, yeah, coming out nice. So the aim of my profile is that it stops the main flow right when the filter covers. And then this is what I do with my Chem Express back before my decent espresso machine is. I did a really long pre-infusion, a long pause. So this is like a 30-second pause, which I also adjusted based on how much flow was coming out. So now it's doing pressure pulsing, and you know, we're at a pressure of about 3 bars. But the fun thing is it allows you to see a bit more of the bottom, and so this is a little bit off-centered, which means there's a donut in the middle. The flow rate's a little bit slower in the middle than the rest of the puck. Oh, did I go over? Wow, I way overshot it. I was so into the shot. I was like, wow. Okay, so we're at 36, 37.
I mean, it looked really nice when it was pulling.
Well, we'll do a longer shot. You know, with the decent machine, I haven't had an issue with longer shots like tasting particularly bad. So let's take a look at this, and then this. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Over here. I hate to pour this out, but we're gonna too much coffee, but now.
So here's the profile. As you, my phone's kind of struggling, autofocusing, but there we go. Did pull a little long, but yeah, honestly, you know, that looks good. Like,
right.
And you know, people will say, "Oh, no crazy crema," but honestly,
no, yeah,
everything else in the cup, like the properties in the cup, all taste really good.
And this was like 36 out. Oh man.
Take.
Actually, I can swirl that around and try it out.
So what does this coffee taste like? Or
so
I
this
don't know
is
what this
13.5. So that means that we're at like, let me figure this out.
Ooh.
So
13.55.
13.55, and then it was like 36, right?
37.7.
Okay, so this is 22% extraction.
22.
yield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is 37, which is a little bit lower than I typically would. So
Well, maybe because we pulled longer.
we pulled longer. You know, I'm on a different grinder. Who knows?
All right.
Hopefully my coffee doesn't suck. So. Oh well, not as strong as at home. Oh,
Well, you pulled
I
longer.
know, I pulled longer.
But really smooth still. Like this is good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's do another one.
Okay, we'll do another one. I guess we'll keep the live stream going.
Yeah.
People are, there are like 30 people watching this.
All right, let's do, what do you want to do?
All the boomers will be mad about the missing crema.
How much is left in this one? I'm going to do this one again.
I don't know if we have enough of the other coffee.
This one? Oops. Let's spill it everywhere.
We could also try a ultralight with the mystery coffee if you want to try that
Yeah,
one.
you want to do mystery coffee?
Okay, let's do the mystery coffee. I don't know where we put it.
Oh, it's right here.
Okay.
Right. All right.
I'm gonna try to put the camera stable. See what happens.
Let's do like some, let's do increase the, yeah, we're gonna do like 23.
But this shot, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, it's like, I already drank some of it, but it's like ultra thick, even though it was pulled longer. So you would expect, I feel like with some of these you would expect it to not, like you would lose a lot of texture, but I don't really think there's nothing bad about this.
Yeah.
This is pretty tasty. all the haters in there.
I know, I'll just pull it shorter this time, I promise. Let's start some smaller, right? This takes a while.
I'm more mad at refracting extremely hot, unfiltered coffee, but I guess that's why I'm a millennial. And people in the comments are like, they're.
It's just slow.
Yeah, it is a slow grinder. I don't know. You wanna respond to
Which
anybody?
one?
Or here.
Hot sample gives higher extraction. Yeah, of course. What are the beans being pulled? So the first beans being pulled they were home roasted. I got it from Sweet Maria's, and it was like half Kenyan, some Kenyan bean, and half like from El Salvador. Usually I do like half African, a bean from Africa, half a bean from like South or Central America. I haven't had good luck in having a really good coffee that comes from Asia or the Pacific, aside from like.
Oh, you locked this in.
Oh yeah, you should probably pull that out. Here, pop that out. Let's everyone can look at this beautiful puck. It pops out. There we go.
All the nerds are gonna get, they're watching.
Oh, good. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, so in terms of extraction, you had a little bit right here that had that slowdown, and that's why it formed a little bit of a bubble in the video. But you can see the layers. Layers are really neat.
Cool.
Am I being criticized for not filtering my?
Sorta, maybe.
Well, if somebody could tell me what filtering is taking out, so.
Okay, what is some guy here?
What?
Or let's see. Higher temp particles moving faster, block more light, given higher apparent refractive index, higher apparent TDS.
You know, I'd point you to an article, because that's what I've been doing, is writing a bunch of articles to help address this. But like you could put coffee right onto the refractometer with like you could add coffee beans to that. And
okay, being criticized for hot refracting, not so much filtering. That's what people.
Oh,
that's what hot refracting. Hot
Okay,
refracting.
okay.
Hot refracting.
So I took some data on this too. I haven't published it yet because I've been working on the book. But it looks like hot refracting only gives a slight increase in TDS reading. So I took the same sample, I cooled it down under the sink. So it's pretty clear the trend, but it doesn't change the sample greatly to where it would say like, it's not going from, we had like what, 14 or 13? It's not going from 13 to 12. It's a small change. I think it's like 0.2 if I recall, but I'll have an article and some data on it. I think I did like 30 shots or so.
Okay, I'm gonna go and rinse these.
Yes, rinse. Yep. And then I'm gonna sift.
You can.
And then these are drying out. They look really, I don't know. I hate throwing these away because they're just so solid. Like even the coarse side, it looks really neat.
Here, okay, here. Let me go and clean up, and then I'm gonna flip this camera so you can like talk to people.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
The comments up.
Here, let me put the comments up. Or how do I?
Yeah.
There we go. So here are the comments here.
Nice. Okay.
There's like 34 people watching.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
Cool. Okay. What's up?
Oh, wait. Yeah. There's not much crema.
Oh, how do I? Let me make it so that it's always showing. Oh no.
You need to be the same temperature as your calibration point. Yeah, I don't have data to know if that is true or not. I don't filter my samples because I'm not convinced filtering does much. So I've seen some data on like filtering samples versus using a centrifuge, and there's like a linear trend between filtered and unfiltered.
Oh, that's so weird that I just can't make it like show all the time.
That's weird. Let's see. I'm criticizing for not using Apex.
Oh yeah, we got someone shit posting already saying like put the coffee into, we could do.
No,
this.
Just stick with one grinder. So, I mean, I could actually, if I really want to offend anybody, I really a rock grinder would be better. A rock grinder is pretty good. So, any rock grinder fans out there? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there is some evaporation. I mean, I think that's why. So when you put the sample, so one of the comments was that when you put the sample on the refractometer hot, there's some evaporation, and there is. And like if you leave the sample on there, the reading will just keep going up. But as long as you're taking the sample immediately, I think it's okay. So I'm also not going to leave a sample for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or I don't know. The one issue I have with filtering samples is that those filters, the syringe filters, cost a lot. They're like 50 cents each. You have to pre-grind.
Oh, pre-grind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you sure you don't want
Yeah.
to use this amazing grinder?
No, I'm kind of done. I feel like I'm done with manual grinding, and based on what you just told me before we started this, I don't want to get near that grinder. No.
Oh, he has a point. You know, he has a point. You have two, so we pre-grind the apex into the ferros.
Oh, I
and
see.
then
I see,
you
I see.
do
Yeah.
so then we do. There
Is
is
the calibration at 30C? I don't recall what the calibration's at. So
yeah, we have
it's
some-
it's also oh yeah, you have too many grinders here.
apex. Yeah.
This is
Or
like
two ferroses.
this is more of a copy equipment storage unit than it is an actual house.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So I think it's not even calibrated with Brian's water. It's calibrated with my water from the tank from my Kim Express. I should recalibrate. So, okay, let's see where this is at.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera, and
Almost
I
there.
am going
We're
to
at 34.
34.
Yeah, let's go a little bit longer. Look how light that is.
We're pulling the mystery coffee from
Yeah.
from Mood Trap Coffee Roasters in Singapore. Good friend Prady, the Prady beans. These are the shaker is the fellow Shimmy
Yeah.
shaker, Shimmy
Shimmy.
coffee sieve. I'm actually in that ad. Did
Oh,
you know
yeah?
that? Yeah.
Oh, that's what I saw the reviews about it, but everyone's like, "Why would you throw out fines?" And I'm like, don't throw them out." Okay. This is actually that's what I'm waiting for is someone to really do. A few people have done staccato with pour over. I'm waiting for someone to really be like, I figured it out. So, because I feel like with the shimmy, you should be able to just do like a 1 layer fine, 1 layer coarse. But okay, so then we're gonna sift this. This is a 500 micron screen for Groove, and then
Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, you got all the fine, the
With the
super
fines. So
fines
then
in
that's-
there.
so we can take a. I mean, they're just so light relative to the last one we had.
Mhm. Okay, so people are telling you because I have not had a lot of this, or like I have had a lot of this, but people are saying that. Okay, you run it under 1 to 2 for this coffee. Well, we're going to try to run it under 1 to 2 anyway.
Oh
right?
yeah. Let me just leave this. Clean this filter.
This one is grounded
Okay.
around. The Verve was grounded a bit finer than this. No, it wasn't. can't
The
remember
Verve is
now.
around. They're all coming around the same bit. We should have checked the density because that would have been a good indicator of how they compare with grinding. That's density seems to be like the best metric. Can't remember Richard something or another has like I think a website coffee.density where he has like suggestions on when to use coffee based on the density and then like what grinder settings. So basically change your grinder settings and your use date based on density. Okay, so
Okay.
that's your mid level, and then actually we could just do this.
Oh yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
So
And then you could.
and then so you have the 3 different layers, and so this is the fine, the mid, and then coarse.
yeah.
And you want to do this one, then this one,
Right, so
then
we're
this
gonna
one.
do- we're gonna
So
do this
so
one.
how did you figure out, or like why do you not do like fine to medium then to coarse? Like why do you put the coarse in?
I just was experimenting, and I was like, what is the right orientation? So I pulled one shot like 3 years ago where I did coarse on the bottom, and that was a train wreck. So I would not suggest that anybody do that.
Oh, and okay, so we have a few different questions.
Sure.
The first one is for you. It's like, Robert, have you found that the shimmy has improved your sifting workflow? And you
Yes.
definitely,
Yes, it's a lot, especially for the fine layer. It's about the same amount of time, but it's not as much effort. Okay, so this
Okay.
is 9.73.
So yeah, we've been around like 9 to 4 or something like that.
something
So
like that.
9, 4. Or wait, this is the course word. Yeah. Custom made tool.
Anchovies.
Yeah,
Minimum
the anchovy tool. Somebody asked about, okay, that's for me. What do I think about this grinder, the Nautilus? Well, hello. Look at this. Okay, wait, this is a problem. Lovely coffee coming out of this thing. Lovely. Not so lovely. And there's a foot pedal here, so look at this.
I feel like you should live stream just like a tour of your apartment.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, here's all this equipment.
All the random stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So you put the
Fine, this is the course, and so then I just have to move it
Yeah.
around, and then it should be set. There's a lot of shape in here. There's actually a really cool grinder coming out of Japan, I think, that has like a shape removal. There's actually one on Kickstarter too, I think. Okay, so that was about 9 grams, and then we'll just
and then we need to do the
very light
the-
temp, and
yeah,
then we'll do
the medium.
medium. And then I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Stuff work tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're at 22 and a half. Okay, so then we're gonna pull at like 25-ish. Okay. And then here I'm just barely tamp. So just tamp until the edges are down. So it's very light tamp. This is good for light roast too, because you want the high water pressure. Okay, let's do it.
All right. And someone's saying, how come you don't use stop at weight? Or like, when do you know? How do you know when to stop it?
I don't know. You know what I do want to do? I do want to do like a profile where you estimate extraction yield
Oh, we probably
over
do that.
time, and then oh wait, I need this.
What are you looking for?
I need to clean that off.
Oh, yeah.
Oops,
sorry. Make it.
Okay, I'll hit the button. There you go. I would like to finish a shot at an extraction yield rather than like a specific output.
Mm.
To say like I've got everything I want out of the shot. Okay, so let's see how this comes out. Ooh, that came out nice. That came out a little fast. Now it's slowed down. Oh, now it's popped into my other. A little too fast, so it's pulsing now, but it's a nice dark color. Not seeing much crema, but it's also kind of old, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Slightly older coffee, but
It's blonding a bit faster than the other one, so we're gonna stop this at like 24. There we go.
okay.
Okay, 20. We ended up at 25. Okay, that's perfect. So we'll do a test here. Oh man, that is light.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would pull. Ooh. I think I have to apologize to the coffee that I'm about to dump out.
So here's, we'll go ahead and also go into the actual profile as well. But let's try this guy out.
What do we got?
It's thinking.
It's thinking. So we're at, what do we do, 22.4 in.
Oh man, my phone doesn't want to focus on this. There we go. 17.
Jesus. So 25 divided by 22.4. So this is almost like a 19% extraction yield. So you're getting a lot in a little bit of space.
Yes.
So. All right. So actually, if you want to show coming out, it
is thick. Lunar auto mode is not made for this. Well, okay. Okay, so I mean, mystery coffee. It's thick. Okay, wait. We gotta like flip the camera.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
Wow, that's bright.
So this coffee from Mood Trap, like, I thought it was really high, or like it's not actually very high acidity. This specific coffee I've had coffee from this roastery before, and I've really liked it. But I don't know, I get like an orange note in this. There's like a orange cream note in this, but very chocolatey.
Yeah.
So that's what the shot does. Is it does bring in a lot of like intenseness into the shot, and the intenseness is like more of a chocolatiness, in my opinion. I mean, this is like it's good. Like I don't really know what else to say. Well, just kidding. I don't know what else to say. So basically,
first time you tried Staccato. Yes, it is the first time. Well, no,
well, first time for me, try it. Or second time. Third time. Yeah, so it does. Okay, so Spencer, yes, it does bring in, like, it doesn't matter what kind of coffee you use. This style seems to bring in a lot of like chocolatiness into whatever you're doing, and the mouthfeel is like
crazy.
Mouthfeel is really like crazy texture, and so some people might complain. They're like, well, you know, why use these light roast coffees and bring in chocolatiness to it? But that's what it does. Just use a niche. No, so okay, you're right. But this does. So here's the interesting thing: is that with something like a niche and some of these other conicals, the clarity gets masked, or like a lot of stuff gets masked, and then that's why we say it's like, oh, it's kind of like chocolatey. But sorry, you're turning the mystery to chocolate. Oh man. But that's like but the thing is like all of those clear notes are still there. They still exist in the shot. They aren't covered by you're not losing out. So like we don't lose out on the properties that the grinder has. You just get this like additional chocolatiness.
You know, I don't know about like in terms of grinders. Somebody asked, do you want to get a LM Max? But I have a niche, and I compare the niche to the rock grinder, and I know everybody like rags on the rock grinder, but it actually, the rock grinder outperformed the niche like slightly. So in terms of not just taste but extraction yield. So I don't even know what I want in terms of like a flat burr grinder. I almost feel like I'd get a DF45
DF
or like an ode and put like SSP birds on them just to mess around.
Yeah. So this is like, I don't know how to explain. It's so hard to talk about flavors and like, but
yeah, I think that's the only issue with this. I feel like you probably need to water it down if you actually want to talk about the flavors, because it's very intense. So
So there are a guy. So how the mystery coffee stuff works is everybody orders it. Everybody gets the same coffee, and then we're like trying to figure out what the tastes like.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Like here, actually, you know, we can pull this shot. Let's just pull this. Do you want to pull this just normal?
Yeah.
And then
sure.
We'll just try it normal, and you can just like.
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, I'll just pull this normal, and then
I'll move this in.
here I can like get my. Oh, now we can see ourselves. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull the mystery coffee normal because diluted water. Okay, interesting.
What?
Oh yeah, people are like you can dilute it with distilled water.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
So I just want you to try this coffee also just normal.
Let's try normal.
Yeah.
Let's try normal.
and then we'll.
Let me put this over here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. That needs to stay. Trying to see what I can make.
And I'm just using the same grind size. So the thing with I think a lot of people get confused with staccato, where they think you have to like change the grind sizes and everything. We actually just use the exact same grind size as before. Oh, and we can definitely.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead, grind.
Oh yeah.
You could see this afterwards.
Yeah, we can. We'll show you the fuck afterwards.
There we go. Wow. That okay. So that's interesting.
Here, wait. Here. Let me flip the. Let me flip the camera.
Okay.
All right. You want to tell the people?
So it just extracted very evenly. So there's a slow spot here, a little there, but aside from that, like the puck extracted very evenly, which is nice. I think that's the challenge of the lighter roast is to get a even extraction.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you end up with like you could end up with channeling because it's so light.
Okay, so let's now pull this coffee normal.
You have a basket. You want to use that one or this one?
I'll use the. Where did my
Yours went. Right
Oh,
there.
here's my basket. Okay. Oh, you removed the spring. Or do you want to just? I could prep in the same. Let's just use the same basket, and I'll just up dose to 20. Coffee's hard. I don't know.
Alright. That looks good.
Your initial dose was 20?
Mine was 22.
22.
But 22 would be hard.
Oh yeah, it should. I'll just do 20 for this.
Yeah, 20 or 21.
Yeah.
I think the problem is it's going to be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll use the same basket.
There's the same basket. And the mess of your table.
But it's one thing that I've observed across all the staccato shots is that there's just this crazy intensity in the shots. And we're not talking like Mystery was 22, yeah, or we did like 22 point something, yeah. Yeah, but like the staccato has been way more syrupy, and there's just so much more stuff going on in the cup, like texture wise, like if that's what you're looking for.
Don't forget your this.
Oh yeah, definitely caffeinated. I don't usually take the spring out of my basket. If you want to respond to people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here, someone. Oops. Let's not dox myself. Here we go.
Alright. Let's see here. I just want to know what my flavor profile flavor profile is like intense mouthfeel, like a chocolatey taste, like and like a syrup kind of flavor. We're pulling at a really high temperature, so we're pulling at 105. Max it out because it's based on what I did on my Kim Express.
It is, so one thing is that this style of shot is very fitting of a lot of like traditional style. Like, it's what I think about when I think it's like what people picture when a lever, like classic Italian, like thick texture, a lot of chocolate, but
it's not robusta.
Yeah. But by also doing this on like but it's like you bring in a lot of those properties into a lighter roast coffee, like, or like, you get all that good stuff, and like it's not you're not drinking charcoal here. We're not drinking charcoal here, so like none of the like crazy darkness exists in any of these coffees we're pulling. It's just like some of those more comforting properties that you may like exist now in cup.
$5. Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
You can do the same profile as well. Why did somebody say that?
Oh, I think people are just
Saka. What's Saka?
Saka is a coffee that, or it's like
Saka and rhubarb. Yeah, I'd like to try one of those. It's a big machine.
the Rober.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was like, Pharos right here is already very, very comparable to a rover. Okay. Or I don't know. Do you want to just like you can talk to people, talk to the people while I prep a puck?
Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah, we did address that. My preference in terms of bean is like I feel like African beans, particularly like from Burundi or Rwanda or Ethiopia, go really well with like a South American bean.
Oh,
Usually, like
do you
Colombia.
pull with? You put the you don't usually leave the spring out.
Yeah, I just leave this.
Okay, cool.
I decide based on the Vern asked, how do you decide what ratio to pull your coffees at? I aim for like a 1-to-1 shot. What I'm really aiming for is to be like close to 22%
use the
extraction.
same.
Yeah, use that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, use it that way. Yep. And I aim for like 22% extraction, and wherever that is at. So sometimes if I have to pull a little longer, I pull a little longer. But
Oh, we're gonna need to wait for this machine to drop temperature back to like 89 Celsius, 90 Celsius.
oh yeah, you want to do that profile?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull this. So I'm gonna pull the same exact coffee, the mystery coffee. I know some people are already mad because they're like, hey, you can't do this, do this light roast. But I'm now just gonna pull it standard, so I can have Robert taste this coffee standard. And the standard profile I'm gonna pull is just a Londinium cap at 6 bars. That was the profile we were pulling earlier, by the way, with the Verve Geshas. So, but initially the temperature is set very high for the Staccato, so like 105. The decent max is at like I don't actually remember. 105.
Like realistically, it's 104.
Yeah, like 104.
Yeah.
We're dropping temp all the way down to the normal for a normal style of shot. RPM on the grinder. RPM on the flat max is 350 RPM.
Okay. Let's do this.
And then, someone asked, what hair products do you use?
Oh, I use something. What is it? I think I use like Axe paste or whatever. Here, you want to film the shot?
Oh yeah, I think the temp is still a little high. We're still at like 100. It's just dropping.
It has to drop down. Oh,
yeah, we're waiting here. I guess I could flush it and try to reduce the temperature.
Yeah, I use like Axe paste. I should care more about my hair, but I don't.
Oh, yeah, it's probably fine. We're getting there. The temp is dropping now.
What's it need to be at?
It's like 89 or whatever. Just wait. Yeah, we're getting there. It'll drop faster. What did you say?
Like a spokesman for Axe products.
Okay, Steve also wants we want a TDS of the non. So this is 20 in. I'm gonna do like. I have
20. So you.
I'll pull a 40. I'll just do like a 1 to 2.
Yeah, sure.
But I have to figure out how to do this on the skin because the skin is wacky. 40. People, like, no, I'm not trolling. Everything does taste like. I mean, not everything does taste like chocolate. It's like you get the clear. There is acidity and clear notes in. Oh my god, the decent profile is wacky. What is going on,
Brian? When you pulled mystery to full chocolate flavors, you basically trolled us, like going on unranked and smashing with Mark.
That's a Super Smash Brothers reference.
Love it. Love it.
No, it's just like there is nothing wrong with trying other styles of shots, guys. Right? Like, come on.
It's more work, but
it's different.
It's different.
It's just straight up different, and yeah, that's just like how it is. So I'm gonna pull, or let me rinse this guy out. Second.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Temperature, perfect.
Okay, then we can make make sure you're out of here because
How
we're a
much
little
of
over
a
time.
difference if you can taste 300 to, well, we did do can you taste the difference between 300 and 1,000 RPM?
That's really hard to. Well, it's gonna depend on what grinder.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull normal.
Let's see.
Oh, this is pulling fast.
Wow, that is wicked fast.
Oops.
Yeah, well, it happens. Yeah, they can't all be winners. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a turbo shot.
It's a turbo.
It was on purpose. Brian was trying to do a turbo shot on purpose. I've never had a turbo shot, so this will be good. Man, that is a light color. Okay.
Intentional turbo. Yeah. Well. Oh, here. Should I rinse these cups out?
I rinsed them out.
Okay. Or like, it's like a little bit of.
Oh, there's a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just. Not the Smith Stable tripod. One sec.
Tiny tripod.
People just talking video games now.
I know. You're waiting 1 to 3 in 15 seconds, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like
Okay. So this is 10.76. So give me a second. So on like 1 to 2, so it's about 21 extraction yield.
By the way, really wacky profile, like really wacky flow rates. But yeah, it's a Prady turbo, so it should taste fine. This should actually taste really good, in my opinion.
Probably. Won't be as syrupy, I'm sure.
It's not going to be as syrupy at all, but it's.
Oops.
Here, let's like let me like switch my screen. I think like smell wise, you can get a lot more florals in this than
you're right.
than the Staccato.
It tastes like a coffee from like an Indonesian coffee or like a coffee from that region.
Mm-hmm.
Very floral, not very intense.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of intense in this. Now there's no chocolate in this at all. There's clear presentation of. And this is kind of older now, so I don't know what the notes are entirely, but I would say like I keep getting like this orange or like cream note. I don't know if that's like wrong. I have no idea.
I don't trust my opinion on flavors. I feel like I haven't gotten calibrated with flavors the way other people have in coffee. Did it ever hit 6 bars?
No. So this was like
hit
3-ish bars, really low pressure. So I mean nose, like off the nose, I personally prefer like the traditional style, but in cup, there's no wrong. Thank you. Yeah. But it's definitely not as like there's no chocolate in here. It's a washed Ethiopian. Okay. That's what this tastes like. That's what it is.
Okay, that would explain it.
But there's significantly less body and texture in the shot because it like went crazy low pressure. But there's just like one, like it's hard to describe here.
Yeah.
There just isn't that like chocolate intensity.
No, it doesn't have that mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, I mean, if you think about like the from a TDS perspective, it's at like 11, close to 11% TDS versus 17. So at 11, you're at, like you're in close to like a ristretto shot, while at 17, it's just a different ball game.
Yeah, my tasting note of like orange on. Yeah, so here's the thing is in this turbo shot, you do get that note, but then it kind of like, then you get like, I guess the roundness or the property of the coffee grinder comes out in this case, which is like it finishes and then you can taste like the difference or like these different properties of what a coffee grinder does to it. In the Staccato shot, I do get that orange and cream presented up front. Like you get the clarity, but then it finishes like, then this like intensity takes over and then you get the finish of like the chocolatey intensity that occurs. And I mean, I really like it and I think this is just literally another style of shot that you can do. There's like Okay, so this is the staccato.
Wow. See, I mean, this is the difference of the finer particles, and I mean it did channel, so that's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Clean shot. Can't lie about that.
The LM can be pushed really clear. Like this is probably the clearest, turbo is the clearest you're gonna get on the LM. So there really isn't much chocolate here, but we use the exact same grind size. Like that is the interesting thing.
Yeah, just different profile. I think for a lighter one too, go hotter temperature.
Yeah, I think I should have went a hotter temperature with this coffee, but yeah, I mean, that was what this was. We just wanted to do a live stream and show off.
Drinking
this-
too much coffee.
Yeah,
so
no,
you're
I'm
good.
like shaky. I don't know. I'm just saying random stuff now. But yeah, I want to thank Robert for coming along, and
Yeah,
I'm
thanks for
probably
having
going to be posting a video, or I don't know if we have enough footage. I just want to live stream. People want to know. People message me about
Right.
this, and honestly, shot's good. Like it straight up is like this is good. I don't know. People are trying to hate on this style of shot. It's a lot of effort, but it's good, and it's just a different style. Is it a style that you like? Well, you're gonna need to try out yourself, and you can read his articles online to see what it is. But otherwise, that's all.
Cool.
Thank you, 30-something people
Thanks
for
for
watching.
joining us.
Thanks for joining, and thanks Robert for coming over. See you guys around.
See you.